All right, so for this deep dive, we're really getting into it. We're tackling probably the single most irritating enemy for any sound engineer anywhere.
Oh, you mean acoustic feedback?
Yeah.
That high-pitched squeal from the depths of hell.
That's the one. And we're going to cut through the tech manual on a specific piece of gear that claims to be the solution. The DBXAFS2-V Advanced Feedback Suppression Processor.
Right, and this is a big deal because it's not just, a minor update. It's a complete redesign of their old bestseller, the AFS2-24.
So what's the big story with the redesign?
Well, the story is simplicity. DBX clearly listened to the biggest complaint people had with old suppressors, which is just how painful they were to set up.
Okay.
So now you have this big, full LCD display, which is great. But the real game changer, the thing that everyone is talking about, is the wizard setup function.
A setup wizard.
Yeah, and it literally walks you through tuning the room. What used to be like 30 minutes of blasting pink noise and pulling your hair out is now 5 clicks.
Done. That time saving alone on a big install probably pays for the unit.
Oh, absolutely. It lets the engineer get back to, actually mixing.
Okay, so it's easy to use. Let's talk about the engine under the hood. The core of this is their AFS technology, right? Advanced Feedback Suppression.
Right. And it's powered by a dedicated DSP module. So it has the muscle for permanent installs like a theater, but also for the chaos of a live tour.
And that muscle translates to, what, more precision?
Unbelievable precision. I mean, look, most feedback processors you see out there might give you 10, maybe 12 filters to work with.
Which is usually enough to get by.
To get by, yeah. The AFS2 offers up to 24 programmable filters per channel.
24, wow.
Yeah, it's a massive jump. They basically took the high-end tech from their really expensive installation gear and packed it into this box.
So 24 filters is incredible, but does that much precision make it more complicated? Even with the wizard. I mean, the specs mention filter cues as narrow as 180th of an octave.
And see, that's the whole point, 180th of an octave. That's surgical. You're not just grabbing a squeal and dragging down a huge chunk of your sound with it.
Yeah. You're not killing the whole vocal to fix one note.
Exactly. You're using a scalpel to remove the exact problem frequency, so the rest of the music, the clarity, it all stays intact. The whole mix just sounds better.
So you've got the precision, but that only helps if you can apply it in different situations. That's where the flexibility comes in, I assume.
Absolutely. For anyone designing a system, flexibility is everything. You can run it in stereo, of course, but the key is the dual independent channel mode.
Meaning you can process 2 different mixes at once.
You got it. So you could have one channel working on your main house mix and the other channel completely separately handling the stage monitors. It's 2 processors in one.
And you can configure the suppression itself. I saw it has live and fixed filter modes. What's the practical difference there?
Okay, so think of a permanent setup like a church. The room acoustics don't change. You run the wizard, you find the problem frequencies, and you lock them in. That's fixed mode, set and forget. But for a rock show, where the band is moving, the crowd changes, everything's dynamic, you need the processor to keep listening and adapting. That's live mode. It's constantly hunting for new feedback.
That's pretty smart. And I saw it even has filters for specific applications, like speech versus music.
Yep. You can basically tell it what kind of material you're working with. Spoken word, low volume music, a loud rock band, and it tailors the way it attacks the feedback.
Of course, none of this matters if the audio going in and out is bad. What about the I/O and conversion?
It's all pro-level stuff. You've got your XLR and quarter-inch TRS connectors. And internally, it's all running on 24-bit AD conversion at a 48 kilohertz sample rate.
The sources really emphasize the DBX Type IV conversion system. So for anyone who's not deep in the weeds on this, is that what keeps the audio from sounding processed?
That's the magic sauce. It's what gives the unit its huge dynamic range over 119 dB. It makes sure that even while the box is busy carving out frequencies, the audio that comes out the other side is clean and transparent.
So the fix isn't worse than the problem.
The fix isn't worse than the problem. And you can see it all happening. It has input meters and these big LED ladders, 24 LEDs per channel, that show you exactly which filters are working. So you don't just hear no evil, you can see the evil being eliminated.
So to wrap this up, what this really means for you, the audio professional, is that the AFS2-V is powerful, it's precise, but more than anything, it's easy. It takes the constant stress of managing feedback off your plate.
It really does. It lets you focus on the creative side of mixing again.
And it leaves me with a final thought. This unit is a perfect example of how we're pushing specialized DSP, this smart processing, closer and closer to the source.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, as these modules get smarter and more powerful, how long is it until every part of the sound is being actively perfected by a box like this before a human ever even touches a fader? Something to mull over.